we've been talking about the federal, we talked about the national, but what is the role of state and local governments, and where do we have some good examples and productive examples?
One example is the city of Chattanooga has the fastest internet in the country. And it has the fastest internet in the country because Mayor Andy Burke worked with municipal broadband to make it happen, because he understood exactly as Mariana said, that's a public good. It is good for everyone who needs it for work, for education. It will also attract business. It will lift the economy, but also society.
I think in the end, it is important for countries and states to begin figuring out ways to protect the data and to put more pressure on the platform. I also have concerns, which is in some ways, sometimes we pass these pieces of legislation and we think it's enough, and that we give a false sense of comfort to people. We now have a privacy law, so don't worry about technology anymore. And the data privacy and how data is used is a part of the problem, but it is not the whole problem. And a lot of the issues we have of misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, they are enabled by the data that's being collected, but we're not getting to the heart of some of those issues. So again, I don't want to say this is not an important area, and it is, and we need to take those steps, but I have concerns that it could give the technology industry more power by reinforcing the model that we have in play today.
So a public wealth fund would be a direct way to actually capture a portion of this collective wealth creation process, which also comes out of taxpayer, citizen-led investments through the public funds, to come back to the state to then reinvest back into the system, into all sorts of areas, whether it's public education, public health, public digitalization. I think the narrative of a universal basic income, I think it could be strengthened by reframing it through this kind of public wealth fund kind of thinking. So a citizen's share, a citizen's dividend, which would be distributed through something like a public wealth fund, puts citizens not just as getting a handout from, the state or, the rich who give their tax to the state and then the state gives it to them, but they get their fair share of what they actually helped contribute to, what they collectively created.